So it's very interesting to me because when we first started the show, and we're just sitting in the garage. Well, actually, at that point, it was your garage, but cold, hot. It's hot.
Mostly hot.
Mostly hot. There's damn dogs barking all the time. Yeah. She had one job. Don't let the dogs out. But when we're back there, because we've never shied away from this. You were the true crime guy, and I was the guy that could record. But we'd also have these really long talks about cases, blah, blah, blah. So, but you being the true crime guy, and here's what's really interesting was I was talking with one of our detective friends the other week, and he was saying, well, because he knew us before, and he was saying, I knew that you were into crime or into talking about that kind of stuff, but you weren't like super into it, not like I do my own research. And it's crazy to me that we've done all these cases. I'm more interested by it now. I mean, obviously we do it every week, but I find it more interesting. I find these little minute details that maybe I shouldn't find super interesting, but I find it actually a lot more interesting.
Well, no, you've touched upon something that is key there. And look, okay, so in every crime that's committed, there is a mistake that is made by the offender. A lot of times the trick of solving the crime is finding what that mistake is.
Yeah.
Exploiting it, leading you to him or her, and then using it to get a conviction, using it to build evidence to get a conviction. So where you say minute details, and you've always said it, the devil is in the details. And you are exactly right, because if you can find that one mistake, or if you can find the one little thing that may connect the offender to the victim, if you can find that link, you might know who did it. And so I'm glad you touched on that, because this is one thing that I've been doing lately in regards to the Amy Mihaljevic case. Mm-hmm. So for some of these cases that I drag around with me, and the cases that you drag around with you, what I do from time to time is I like to, so I spent 3 or 4 nights looking into Amy's case again. And I told myself I wasn't going to let it consume me. And then Amy kept me up for 3 or 4 nights. I mean, I was up till, you say you're going to sit down for a couple hours. Next thing you know, it's 1, 2 o'clock in the morning.
But were you drinking?
No. And I was sitting
because you do that thing where it's like you have 1 or 2 drinks, and then all of a sudden it's like 6 drinks later.
Yeah, but not when I'm looking at the cases, because it gets too it's work.
Right.
And what happens with me, by the time I hit the second beer, I'm not doing any more work.
Right.
So
Party
anyway,
time. Turn on Rolling Stones and let's go.
And I actually find, how like some people, if they smoke some pot and they play video games, they're like, something happens where I'm in the zone, where I get to this level where it feels like I can just do anything I want on the video game. Like I'm one with my player, one with my vehicle on there. Well, where I hit that mode is when it's about 1 o'clock in the morning, when it's pitch black outside, when my house is completely quiet, where it's late enough at night where you can almost feel the heat coming from the light bulbs in your house. Mm-hmm. There's some zone that I go into during those hours where I'm a little more open to different ideas, and things kind of creep in. And so one thing that I do with some of these red light cases is sometimes I'll throw out my old theory. And I'll say, all right, I'm going to go into this and I'm going to look at it, and I'm going to look for one thing, one little detail that if I can pose, if maybe there's a question within that detail.
Right.
And if I can answer that question, then this could point me in a direction of who did this, or it could point me in the direction of a likely pool of suspects.